Yeah, I want to talk about the Lindsay Clancy thing going on. Not really about the case or anything like that. It's the social media online reaction to what a lot of women are apparently defending her. And then there's a lot of reaction on the other side of mainly men. They're reacting to that defense of that horror. And I'm just looking at it like, okay, why would they defend her, right? Like, and it just makes me look at what their possible reasoning could be. And the only thing that I could think of is is that they see maybe themselves in Lindsay because of postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, whatever you want to call it. There's degrees to that, and for sure, grant that that's a real thing. I have 4 kids. I've seen it myself. It's definitely real. It's definitely, you know, it is a justified thing, not her actions, but the actual uh, thing, postpartum depression and all that comes with it. It's real for sure. And I think that these women defending her are maybe seeing themselves or stuff they said or how they acted during postpartum in her, and their immediate gut reaction is to defend because they think it's like an empathy reaction, but it's not empathy towards the father, towards the victims, the children. It's empathy for themselves, and that's what's making a visceral reaction online. And I think it goes much deeper than just it's a self-preservation thing. It them doing the women calling this out is making it worse for the side of the women, right? If they wouldn't have called it out, it would just be an isolated case of this lady and a horrible crime she did, and it would be just that. But now, since a lot of women online on social media are defending her on podcasts, on social media, in the comment section, making videos, reels, stories, now it's become something way bigger. They almost like brought the attention onto themselves, which kind of defeated the purpose if they wanted to this to go away. Which is funny because they're it's like self defeating their intention of defending her, which is really defending themselves because they had bad thoughts during postpartum. Like it's a crazy loop, right? And when you look at the numbers, maternal filicide, I mean, there's a name for it because it's an actual thing. It's been going on since the beginning of time. There's in the Mexican culture, there's La Llorona. I mean, that's still going on today. She's Lindsay Clancy, right? Like this is a known thing. The most uh, homicides by women are against children. They're mainly their own children, right? And I think this is a dark side of female nature, which is really just human nature, but the female side of it that society tends to ignore because of the psychological ramifications of what it means to them. Their emotions can't deal with that. Their mental image, their idealized image of the mother being this, like caring and safe place for children, sometimes has a dark side because women are humans and humans have a dark side, right? And maternal filicide and infanticide, that's where women's homicide numbers either are even with men or above men's. It's pretty crazy when you look at statistics that when women have authority, power, and strength over a demographic, let it be children or the elderly or the sick in hospitals, they tend to be violent too, just like men do. Like They have the human nature of violence. They're not excluded. They're not angels. They're not innocent people all the time. They definitely commit crimes. It's a different kind of crime. Usually it's passive aggressive or subversive, or not physical abuse. Usually it's the angel of death or some other way. But that's just what I see is like the women defending her, I think, are really defending themselves, but nobody would have known they had those thoughts unless they started talking, started defending Lindsay Clancy. And now we know that you pretty much have those, you've had those thoughts, which doesn't make you a monster. Having those thoughts during postpartum is like, we can give you a pass. Like, it's okay, right? We know you've been through some trauma. Your body had a gigantic, physical event that changes your body forever, and your hormones and your mind. And then add modern society, add the epidural, add, all the chemicals and injections and everything they give you during birth, C-sections, right? Like, yeah, like we just presuppose that those are good things, right? They're good as in they saved a lot of lives, but we don't know the trade-off to that. Was the trade-off of a hospital birth with all these medications and chemicals, was the trade-off more postpartum, most postpartum depression, causing psychosis, causing whatever else uh, mental condition during the postpartum time? Like, we don't know what modern society traded off saving lives for mental health, or in that realm of things. Like, what there has to be trade-offs, right? There's not ever usually just a 100% perfect solution to everything. And then add in modern society, like the man has to go to work, woman has to go to work, she's on SSRIs already, he's on SSRIs already, like add in all these other factors, and now we have a cocktail of medications in the woman after she gave birth, with a hormone dump, massive body, I don't even want to say trauma, but a whole, you know, something traumatic kind of happened, right? Birth. It's a good thing, but it was traumatic to her body and her mental state and everything like that. So just because a woman has intrusive thoughts during a time of postpartum doesn't make them evil, doesn't make them irredeemable, but them kind of defending her makes it way weirder and way worse. Like, now we're looking at it. Now I'm looking at the numbers. Now I'm looking at, why are they doing this? If they just would have been quiet about it, nobody would have made nobody would have noticed this reaction, because there wouldn't be a reaction to notice. The case would have probably been smaller news, as the cases before that, Casey Anthony, and there's a bunch. There's always a case like this where a woman, uh, filicides her children. Right? This is not an uncommon thing. Like, this is there's a Greek myth about it. There's a Mexican myth about it, or urban legend about it. Like, these things have been happening forever, and they're still gonna happen. But it's the defense of it in the modern times that looks pretty damn gross, and it's just a weird thing to look at right now. And that's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing is they're recognizing themselves in her. They're getting a really bad emotion about it, and they're seeing the visceral reaction from people, mainly men, or the media and everything, how much of a monster Lindsay is, right? So then they do the evolutionary psychology thing of trying to uh, not let the tribe exile her, right? Because this is what the thought is, that back in the day when we were tribal peoples, when a woman or a man, right, violated the social contract of the tribe to a degree, they would exile them, right? Well, if you exile the man, he can survive. If you exile the woman, she's as good as dead. Like, she's not going to survive. There's no chance. Some other tribe could find her, roaming men could find her, and they're not going to be very nice, right? They're going to be really bad. So, to survive, the woman would not take accountability, lie, gaslight, all these things, cry, all the things they do to stay in the tribe, to stay in the group, because in the group she can survive. There's structure, there's safety in the group. And it looks like this defense of Lindsay is like a giant version of that. But they're not even being accused of it, right? It's just a woman uh, on the news. But they're like, to them, they're like looking in a mirror or something. It's very weird what's going on. If you think about it, it's not logical whatsoever. It's not smart whatsoever to do that either. But they're doing it, and it's causing a visceral reaction. It's causing lots of reactions. And it's very strange to see this play out right now live on social media. How evolutionary psychology plays out, but it's not even them doing it. Like, they didn't do that. They might have, I'm guessing, they had a thought of that during postpartum times. So they're using that thought and empathizing that thought on Lindsay, which is really, they're saying, well, Lindsay is just like me, or I'm just like Lindsay because I had those same thoughts. I must defend her because she shouldn't be exiled from the group, locked in a cage, whatever, because they see themselves being locked in a cage, exiled from the group. And I hope all this stuff makes sense, because like, this is a crazy logic tree here of psychology and biology and sociology, because it's wild to see this play out. I'm almost like, what is going on? Like, when I first seen the case, I thought it was going to just blow over. It's going to be a crime story. The main focus will be on the crime, with the crime story, genre. But no, it's like going everywhere now. Where like, whoa, women are defending her, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, absolute zero sense what's possible, right? I'm like, why would they do that? They're drawing attention to themselves. They're making it way worse. I'm like, nobody's looking at you, lady. Like, men in general, people in general, do not look at women as filicidal maniacs, right? We look at you in a much better light. We want to believe that stuff's a monster, a ghost story that doesn't happen. But you're making us look at you like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Why are you defending a monster? That's the crazy part. So that's a little rant I had on the drive to work. Comment, tell me what you think, subscribe, and tune in for the next video.